So yesterday we talked about your word is everything. Your word is iron. We talked about speed. Moving through life with speed is important. But the next one on this whole roster is personal accountability. Everything is my fault. That doesn't mean I use guilt and any of this, unless it's fuel. If it's fuel, then good. But you want to take on personal responsibility for everything. If my relationship's not going well, it's my fault. If it's going well, it's my fault. What this does is it puts you at what's called affect rather than the effect of things. It puts you at cause. Many religions and spiritualities will talk about being at cause rather than being at the effect of things. When you're at the effect of things, you're subject to kind of these whims of your emotions. And your emotions can be a good compass, but logic, reason, these things should really be also heavily weighed in your decision-making process. A lot of times people, especially right now, if you look at a lot of news sources, especially if they're spun one way or the other, the way you can tell if it's real news is if they're telling both sides of the story and both sides have a point. It may let you come to those conclusions on your own. Much of what we're getting today is not that. It is hyper emotional. It is stimulating emotions, and there's a couple different types of people in this world, and you can break them down into people who have their first filter as their emotions and how they feel, and then people that are a little bit more logical. And what certain news outlets will do is they're going to tell you how you should feel about something. They're affecting you. You are at effect. You are no longer at cause if you allow it to get to you. Therefore, you must have a warrior at your gates. They talk about it in many different aspects, Theravada Buddhism. They talk about this in even Christianity to a degree. But every religion has their way of explaining and teaching. You got to have a warrior at the gate of your mind. Not everything should enter in. Your filters really need to be logic and reason. You, again, be at affect more than effect. And taking personal responsibility and accountability for everything that you do, even if it's not in your control. How can you make it in control? Does this information serve you? If it doesn't serve you and it's not carrying you towards your goals, think about it in a different way. That's called frame control, the ability to think about something from a different way. The Chinese will talk about every problem has a potential good that can come from it, a learning, an opportunity. And that's what we want to learn how to do, is we want to take something that could be a negative, and how do we make this into an opportunity? It's the game of life. Awesome.